What's up, guys and girls? Welcome back to another vlog. A little bit different for a change. Working on the mighty Aristo. I've forgotten the GoPro, so we're on the phone today. I don't know how to rotate the camera around. How do I do that? Got Daniel here helping us. Normally, we would roll a guard. However, on these cars, they put in these little screws, which you'll see when this little plastic strip is off, that there's two square punch marks under there, and unfortunately, whenever you roll the guard, they end up with massive waves in them. So we are taking an angle grinder to it, aren't we, mate? So I should add that Daniel is actually the bodywork expert and has done this for a living before. So we're in good hands. The car's in good hands. Better hands than mine, anyway. Doggo's here helping. Aren't you, mate? Come on, get to work. Work. So we would do our best, because I do really like this car, to make this very, very, very neat. But right now, she's scrubbing tyres, so need to do something. Safety.
I love you too, buddy. I love you too. Go on, go on, go, go.
Ooh, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but it's a pretty nice line all the way across.
Or would you rather go?
You can see the cutouts from where those square punches were. We're going further. So, hopefully, she'll still hold together good. Scary times. It's no $1,000 nugget. What do you reckon, boy? We doing the right thing? So yeah, I trust Daniel so much, I'm not even watching him do it. It has nothing to do with the fact I'm scared of seeing a car cut up, yeah?
I wouldn't trust me.
Hey?
I wouldn't trust me.
That's not what you're supposed to say. Well, while he's doing that, I'm aligning his Corona, the ST141 he's got for a new daily. Yee! We'll see how the result turns out. Alright, final look. Now the paint's all wiped off, the little paint pen. Neat. All the clearance. Now we can run those fat boy tyres, yeah? Oof, Jesus. Might be a bit more due for tyres than I thought. Lucky I work at a tyre shop, hey? Because, you know, people with tyre shops always have the best tyres, people that are mechanics always have the best conditioned cars, yeah. It's been a while in the making, but the Aristo has finally made it down here. And today we're going to do a few little upgrades. So you would have seen just before that the guards have all been very nicely cut. Very nicely cut. And I probably didn't show you, but I've lowered it a bit more by pulling the locking collar out of the coil lever just to get that tiny bit extra, so we're tucking tyre. Because, you know, we got to be. I bought one of these quad lock tripods to try and make my life a bit easier filming with the phone. So we'll see how that turns out today. So this is the first piece of the puzzle. The one-handed knife doesn't work very well sometimes.
This is a knife.
Yeah,
You did very well.
yeah, I did a pretty shit job.
Oh, there we go.
And there's another one. Huzzah. Don't sniff the salts, mate. Oof. So, one new adjustable thick boy rear sway bar. And our next thing to contribute towards the back end upgrades is a set of Super Pro offset rear lower control arm bushes. So these go in the inner position lower control arm point. And they've basically got a offset crush tube inside, so you can put them for more camber or less. We are going less in this case. Obviously the car is lowered from factory, it's running a bit more camber. I do like low cars, not hard than that, but I ain't no stancy boy who likes their 8 degrees camber on the back. So we'll take as much camber as we can out on this. They only do about 1 degree or so, so hopefully we'll end up under 2 degrees on the back. So we've got a bit of ball joint play, so we knew that. Lower ball joints, which are the critical ones, they have been replaced. I did those only a few weeks ago. My stock upper control arms, ball joint there, you probably can't see it in camera. Yeah, I can't do both, but that's got play in it. But I can't really be bothered changing it yet because I want to put some aftermarket camber arms out. We're rolling on 370Z track edition wheels, if anybody's wondering. Just got a 20mm spacer up front because I've got a very high offset on the front. 10s on the rear. We've got 10 Super Streaks. As you can see, they were already max low. We took an extra collar out to get as low as possible. It still has heaps of travel and doesn't even hit the bump stop yet. We've got to get rid of this soon. This is the rear steering rack. Need to do a delete on that. Oh, now you get to have a look under me car. So this is our front mount setup. Bracket made by Grubby from 21 Fab. Everything's a bit dirty under here. Soz. My rails are fucking okay. A few scrape marks, but not too bad given that it's pretty low. These are the bushes right here that we're going to be changing. They do have some camber adjustment from factory, which is this bolt right here. As you can see, we're already all the way in. And obviously there's our sway bar that should be pretty simple to change out. We did just check these joints, these outer joints. They're actually like a Heim joint. Oh, which one? There we are. A Heim joint, but because we did have replacements, but they are still good, and I'm just going to leave them in there. They are obviously aftermarket replacements, so assuming these are genuine Toyota, I think if they're in good nick, there's no point changing them. What did it come with? Why did it come with 2?
Or bush.
2 bush. 2 for the price of 1. Are they same part number?
2817.
No, they're not.
They're not.
Oh, I'm sure one of them's right.
Suspension parts, Toyota rear sway bar mount bush.
Maybe we got a
Suspension parts,
free
rear sway
pair.
bar, one sway bar chassis and one sway bar mount. They look
That's both the
like
same thing.
Sway bar mount. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Anyway, let's get to undoing it. Shouldn't be too much of a drama. And if anyone zoomed in before on the bushing packet and noticed it says IS 200 Altezza, these cars, the rear end, share many similarities. They're very near identical setups. So most of the parts, not all, but most of the suspension parts are interchangeable. The main difference is, probably can't see it again, but the main difference is the upper control arm is alloy, cast alloy in this, not a pressed steel. And the bushings to suit are slightly different, so you can't just put IS 200 into Aristo arms, or vice versa. So, first arm is out. So these are the bushes we will be replacing. Actually went pretty damn good. So Daniel's just disconnected this side. So that's the bar to come out now. And the cool thing too, which I wasn't 100% sure about, but Toyota are pretty good with using rose joints and a lot of things, or Heim joints. But they've even got Heim joints on their links. So a lot of companies, like these are very near identical to like rear of Lancers and stuff like that, where they're just rubber. So if you ever put them in and you have to adjust them, they flex heaps. But this means we should be able to put it to whatever adjustment level we need on the sway bar, which we're just going to go straight to full stiff and see how it is. It's a big boat. I'm sure it ain't going to be that stiff. Anyway, shouldn't take us too long. I'll go press this out now while Daniel keeps pulling that one out. Obviously, we can just leave the link in the arm. There's no point taking that out.
What the fuck is that motor for?
Oh, yeah, pull that off.
Yeah.
That's for the auto leveling headlights.
In the rear? I thought they were in the front.
No, but well, they're in both so that it can tell what the angle between them is.
Ah, yes. Smart.
So it can tell if you're towing a caravan, you know?
That's why they're Toyota and not me.
We'll get back to you shortly. Right, what we'll do, because we can see basically these are still just stamped steel LCA with a gap in the middle, so these do flex if there's a heap of tension on them. So we'll try and clean this bit up with a wire wheel, and then hopefully it'll press easy enough. Worst case, if it's really hard to press and it keeps folding these lips together, we'll have to try and get something to space that. Pressing is, I'm sure, pretty generic, but you can see the big lip on this side, nothing on that, so we'll be pressing from here and make sure that what we're using covers right around the lip of that, so we're not pressing straight into the cup. Didn't do a great deal, but cleaned it up a little bit. Got the big chunky bits off. Soak it all with CRC or WD-40, and hopefully all go smooth. Right, pop. As you can see, popped that real quick, but didn't want to press this through yet, so we will find something to jam in there. Something like that. And we've got that fitting in there now. Yep. Beautiful. Huzzah! Now, it is as simple as we've got an offset bushing, an offset crush tube that you can basically put in or out depending on whether you want neg or not. So as that's, say, sitting in the car like that, mounted like that, it's going to give you more negative camber because it's at the bottom. Mounted like so, which is what we're going to do. Just going to pull some camber in. Let's compare the pair. I really need to make more bench space for this stuff. It's a bar. It looks the same-ish, but different. So, you can probably see on camera that it is noticeably thicker. I wonder if there's much weight difference to that. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is definitely a solid sway bar, whereas, I mean, it might be the weight difference just because it's so much skinnier, but I would say that's possibly hollow. What do you think, Daniel?
It's a toothpick.
And then you compare it to this. Surely that's solid and that's not. Surely it's not just the difference from like 3 mil thicker bar.
You're right, actually. That might be solid. Oh,
Hollow,
actually,
hollow,
look,
you mean?
I reckon.
Nice can you got there, bud.
I reckon if you look at that seal, that weld around there, it almost looks like a weld around it. I reckon it will be hollow, and they've
then yeah, right. Yeah. Cool. All right, well, it should be a massive difference in fucking stiffness then. Here's our bouchers. Boucher. For some reason, I've got two pairs. Fucking Daniel.
Not shining. Yeah, this one looks identical to this.
Does it? Okay.
Or is it the wrong way around?
Wrong way around. That's.
Yeah, sorry, that one looks identical.
I see. I was opening the right one, Daniel. Jeez.
So I just wanted you to make sure.
Yeah, this quad lock mount has made life a lot easier, but I'm not used to setting everything up yet, so hopefully we got everything in shot. Bouching grease, just on the inside, not the outside, and slap her in there. Get it in there nice and deep like.
Lubed up.
All lubed up. Now we'll follow Daniel as we go on this adventure. You can see stuff. There's a bar going up. Can you see stuff? I don't know. Battery too low to use flash. Son of a bitch. Where did it go, man? Where did it go? I think it was up through this gap.
No, that's the bracket. Isn't that the bracket?
No, that's the bracket thingy.
Oh, I found the hole.
Yeah. Pull it back a bit first so they can clear the subframe. Yep, and they should be able to angle it up. Look at that. Bloody beautiful.
Oh, Tetris.
cool. And I'm sure other people can notice my hectic demuffler. Did I just pour a bunch of Dell in here? So, you know, we need a little bit of that 2J note. These came with the car. They were actually off a GS300, but they bolt up. So I put them on there for now. It's still got 2 big ass hot dogs. I can't remember if that's a cat or not, but I have a feeling it's not because the amount of flames it shoots. This was a cat once upon a time, but big hammer sledgy thing says no more cat. So she does actually shoot fireballs, which is pretty cool. Not for my fucking fuel economy, because that's terrible, but I mean, if it's going to use that much fuel, it might as well shoot fire. Double flame. All right, fast forward a quick minute, and we are all together. So everything is tight. The only thing we got to tighten up, as I said, on the hoist, on the 4-post I should say, when it's at right height, is that lower shock bolt. Everything else is done. So that didn't take us too long at all. So we'll put the wheels back on, lower it down, and give her a quick wheelie boy. And we'll see where we're sitting. And then we'll better take it for a quick blocky, eh? And just see how it goes. So this is how beautifully we're sitting. So camber's pretty well spot on. Obviously it's towing out now. We've taken some camber off from the lower. So I've just tweaked the rear toe. Nice burp in the background there, bud.
Sorry.
So this is where the rear is sitting now. So basically these are in minutes and degrees. So basically 1 degree and 30 minutes is 1.5. So we're sitting at basically about 1.8 sort of thing, degrees of camber, which I am fine with because that's actually a touch less than, I used to have 2 degrees in the back before I took the extra collar out, and I haven't even aligned it since I've taken the extra collar out. So I would suggest it was probably around the 2.5 degree mark now, if not a touch more. So that's where we're gonna leave it for now. I do normally run a lot higher toe in on the back of these things, mainly for tyre wear, but Michelin's on Jap cars just hate life. They work fine on new Mercs, new BMWs and all that with their fancy fandangle suspension geometry. Put them on the back of this thing and fuck, I've put 3 pairs on the back of this now and I've not been happy with any of them. The only way I can make them drive half reasonably is to run a minimal amount of tow and quite high pressure to stop sidewall deflection. Probably not going to put any of this in the video. So we pretty much got 2 degrees, just a touch over 2, just under 2 on the right. We do want camber splits on the road to drive straight. That's actually not as much as we would like. I'd like at least a 20-minute camber split. But these only have a single adjuster that does camber and caster off the front. Doesn't give you independent camber and caster adjustment. I'm probably going to pull this camber down briefly because right now I have been destroying my front guards. In the near distant future, we will address that. But for now, I think I'm just going to pull that down and up the caster, and that should fix it for now. If you're curious, that's where we ended up on the front. So basically just under 1.5 degrees and about 1.25 on the right. And the caster naturally comes up, which is never a bad thing. And just 2 more toe this time on the front. Front's always destroying inside edges, hence why I was running 6 when I had a lot more camber. But these tyres are coming off soon enough, so I figured why not make it drive a little bit nicer. We'll pull some toe off of it. And when I get some camber arms, there'll probably be some more camber up in there, eh? Okay, bye. Wow, that's a fucking noticeable difference straight up.
Really?
Yeah. Do you not feel how lack of roll there is in the back compared to what it was before?
Oh wow, it is very tight.
I didn't do it.
What happened?
It wasn't me, officers. Just testing it out.
there is fucking no
so
sweating.
much it's like noticeably different at the back than the front end. It's worth noting that my rear shocks are in full stiff at the moment, my fronts are like halfway, so I can part of it.
It is very,
like even
you
compared to our
you
drive,
can feel how soft it is in the front now.
yeah, but like our drive from like home to work, whatever, that was fucking a completely different car.
It definitely doesn't want to get as loose as it used to.
Nah, that's the funny thing is, yeah, like putting a
You're
sway
gonna
bar
have
in
to
it.
try a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, which I don't know if it's a good thing.
Yay!
Yay, great success. But yeah, funnily enough, you would think like putting a stiffer rear sway bar in it that it would be like a lot looser. But if anything, it's a lot tighter because there was so much pitch in it before it used to just unsettle itself. Now it's a lot more stable in the back end. Now I'm wondering if I should have done a front one, but I was just trying to make it a little bit more rear biased, I should say. It almost had the opposite effect. But I call that a success. And we didn't do any skids. All on closed. What's the fucking word? Mexico! Unfortunately, guys, as you can see here, I was involved in an accident the following night on the way home from work. Not my fault, but as you can imagine, I'm still quite devastated. It's quite sad editing this video and seeing it looking its best to looking its worst, but we do have future plans, so stay tuned, and we'll give you a bit of an update hopefully in a near future video. Go ahead and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.